Hi guys, Pastor P here. Hope you're doing well. Greetings from Nashville. Just want to say hello and just jump right into things today. I'm excited about this study, as maybe you can tell by now, because I'm excited about people walking in their purpose. I'm excited about people moving forward without any doubt or fear or debt even. I'm excited about people finding their passion, finding that who they are and what they do really matters. We get so distracted. We get distracted by the headlines of the day and oftentimes forget who is large and in charge, that God is large and in charge and has a plan, has an order for dealing with all things. And we've been really kind of tiptoeing in this. And the reason why I'm doing that is because I want us to get it. A lot of times, we think about, oh my gosh, when are we going to go on to something else? Oh my goodness. Well, when we get this, we can go on to something else. Okay? It's about growing into those steps of taking ownership and maturing in knowledge and in wisdom and moving forward, not just sitting back, getting all this wisdom and all this knowledge and absorbing like this big sponge and just at some point either we're going to collapse or explode. Okay, so why not let's use what we're learning along the way. Let's try it on this step. Okay, how many have already from day one that we talked about began to take that little heart light, that little life light, search light, and really began to search your heart, search your mind, search your life to see if there be any distractions or hindrances or to discover what is my purpose, what is my passion, what is that thing, what is my truth, to really begin to look at ourselves. And then yesterday we introduced Day 2 of Genesis, which we found in Genesis 1, verses 6 through 8, where God came in the chaos, spoke light be, and then immediately went about doing some separating, placing some order into things. Okay? And it spoke about how he set in order the firmament above and the waters below, above and below, drawing divine limits, drawing divine order into all this chaos. Now, the word that we used in Genesis 1:2, when it spoke about how the earth was formless and empty, that Hebrew word tohu wabohu, meaning formless, meaning empty. If you can just imagine water. Okay, water in a glass has a form. Water no glass is formless, right? Chaotic, going everywhere, unless it's honed in or ordered in some manner to fit some shape or some size. It's going everywhere. Okay, so that's the kind of confusion. And a lot of times our thoughts, they're everywhere. Our feelings are everywhere. Our emotions are everywhere. We're formless and empty. We're tohu bohu with just chaos and confusion trying to sort out the next steps of our life. And so here God's showing us that in order to get God's order on it, we got to draw some lines. We got to draw a separation here and work in this area which is made available to us called space. Get this space, get into a space of being able to fulfill that order and respect that order. That there are some things above and there are some things below. There's some things right here with us that we can use. There's some things that we've moved past. Okay? There are some things we haven't even matured to. Let's just be honest with one another. Okay, we like to think that we're arrived. Well, I can't even make that proclamation. I haven't arrived. Every day is an opportunity to learn more. Okay, so we find that God was speaking order in day number 2. Let there be a vault let there be an expanse, let there be a firmament between the waters to separate water from water. So God made the firmament, the vault, the expanse. and separated the water under the vault from the water above it. And it was so. And God called the vault, called the firmament, called the expanse sky. And we looked at that yesterday in that place where it was about creating a separation, okay, establishing order. Now we learn in 1 Corinthians 14:33, it's where God is talking about worship. But it makes a very clear statement that God is not the God of disorder, but God is the God of peace. Now, that word disorder, or some translations say confusion, God is not the God of confusion. If there's confusion, it's not God. How about that for a really quick and clean test? Okay, as you're checking the headlines and the things of the day that people say, oh, this is God. Well, if there's confusion in it, if there's disorder in it, it's not God. God comes in peace and tranquility and makes those changes and brings order to our mind, brings order to our bodies, brings order to our families, our relationship, our business. But there's a very key factor that we have to consider in that, because God does bring form to the formless. It's all chaos, and God brings form to it. There's all this disorder, things going in different directions, and God brings order to it. There's confusion. Oh my gosh, my mind I'm just racked with anguish and panic and anxiety. And God brings what? God brings clarity. God brings understanding. And we learn in Proverbs that it's wisdom that helps set these things in order. Go to Proverbs chapter 8. Okay, we're just going to dip down in here, and we'll stay on this for a minute. So if you're not getting this, hang with me, and let's take a look. It says in Proverbs 8, it says that, let's read it in the Message version just for fun. Proverbs chapter 8, beginning in the 22nd verse. It says, God sovereignly made me, the first, the basic. Before God did anything else, I was brought into being a long time ago. Well before earth got its start, I arrived on the scene before the ocean, even before springs and rivers and lakes. Before mountains were sculpted and hills took shape, I was already there, newborn, long before God stretched out earth's horizons, before God began to set limits. We're going to see that. And tended to the minute details of soil and weather and set the sky firmly in place. I was there. This is wisdom speaking. When God mapped and gave borders to the ocean and built the vast vault of heaven and installed the fountains that fed the ocean, when he drew a boundary for the sea and posted a sign, I love the Message. He posted a sign that said no trespassing, and then staked out earth's foundations. I was there with God, making sure that everything fit. Day after day, talking about creation, day after day, I, wisdom, was there with my joyful applause, always enjoying God's company, delighted with the world of things and creatures, and happily celebrating the human family. See, Proverbs lays it out that brings about this truth that wisdom was there. Wisdom. The wisdom is, if we think about, is wisdom and knowledge the same thing? Knowledge is learning the details, getting the details of things. And wisdom would be when we add action to that, knowing the proper course of action, knowing the source of action, knowing how to propel action in an order to make things happen and not create more chaos or confusion or frustration. Okay? Wisdom says that she was there. She was there when all this was laid out. And we don't have to go very far in the book of Proverbs, chapter 3, when it speaks about how not only was wisdom there, but it's an encouragement. By wisdom, the Lord laid the earth's foundation. By understanding, God set the heavens in place, and by God's knowledge, the watery depths were divided, and the clouds let drop the dew. Now, here in Proverbs, which was written by Solomon, and if you remember King Solomon, when asked what gift does he want, he wanted wisdom. And I see why. Because in the middle of chaos, in the middle of confusion, in the middle of decision, in the middle of frustration, it empowers us to not only just have the knowledge of what's happening, but what to do with what we're seeing, what we're experiencing, what we're feeling. When we look inside and we see this purpose, how to draw steps to walk in it, how to draw steps to embrace our passion and run with it, okay? The scripture in Proverbs 3 says, do not let wisdom and understanding out of your sight. Preserve sound judgment and discretion. They will be life for you. In verses Proverbs 3, 13 through 15, it says, blessed are those who find wisdom, who gain understanding. For wisdom is more profitable than silver and yields better return than gold. She is more precious than rubies. Nothing you desire can compare to wisdom. Okay? If you want the earthly gains, you got to get wisdom, the godly gain, the divine gain first, to bring order, to bring peace, to bring understanding. Is all this making sense to you? So we see that as we celebrate day 2 of creation, or the second step in God's order, in learning God's order about how we're to, as we peel back the natural and what we see and what we are trying to work toward, what to do with it, we're encouraged here to make this journey with wisdom. Make this journey, use wisdom, call upon wisdom. The scripture goes on to tell us that wisdom meets us at the crossroads, at the place of decision. Wisdom takes her stand. And lean into that. Okay, not just dilly-dally just because something's pretty and glittery and it looks good and all that. And it was funny talking with a passenger today and just, we are just get excited talking to each other, because it's like everything that looks good is not good for you. Okay, it requires wisdom to be able to discern that. So I hope you're encouraged tonight that you have that gift. You have that gift. Use it. Use it. Call upon wisdom to help you make decisions. Those things that you'll find, call upon wisdom. What to do with these distractions, what to do with this hindrance, what to do with this negativity, what to do with this lack of truth, what to do, whatever this thing is. Wisdom, show me how to get to truth of me. Show me how to get to the truth. What do I need to do for next steps? Know today that you're loved and cherished, and you are a divine treasure. I mean, as I think about you and as I share with different folks about you, I'm excited. I'm excited about what you're learning, what you're doing, and excited about these next steps. So I'll see you again here tomorrow. And I know we went a little bit longer, but I just kind of wanted to lay that foundation. We're going to stay here for just a second so that we get this, okay? So go forth in wisdom. I pray that your sleep is sweet before the Lord tonight. And as always, know that you are, again, loved without measure. Have a wonderful night. I see you tomorrow. Bye now.